Jimmy Fadden from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band on the show. Jimmy, you're celebrating 50 years of Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. When you look back at the last 50, what comes to mind the most?
Well, that's what happens after you've been doing this for 50 years. You start to forget. The Grammys was great. Doing all the TV shows we did, Letterman, Leno, Johnny Carson, on and on and on. They're all great. Wow. I think we've just had this really nice history of wonderful moments. Of course, some of the places we stayed and played weren't the most wonderful, but the audiences were great.
Jimmy, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band has many hits from over the years. One song that continues to hit our airwaves is Fishing in the Dark. Tell us the story behind that song.
Well, I'd have to say that Josh Leo, our producer at the time, was responsible for that. And here's a little side note. The guy that wrote it is actually touring with us right now. So you get a little extra bonus there. You get two Jimmys. You get Jimmy Fadden and Jimmy Photoglow. So
awesome.
There you go. There you have it. Yeah.
Jimmy, in just a few days, you kick off your Canadian tour with stops in Saskatoon, Alberta, BC. Has Canada always been a second home to Nitty Gritty?
It has been, and we've been coming to Canada for a long time, and our audiences have been coming to our shows steadily for all of that time, and we've had a wonderful history with your country and our music.
We got to talk about the accomplishments of the band. Your album, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, was inducted in the U.S. Library of Congress and, of course, and the Grammy Hall of Fame. Mr. Bojangles inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2010. What has those accomplishments meant for the guys?
Well, to have a record in the Library of Congress is a pretty big deal. And, I don't think about it every day, but, if somebody asked me, something about that record and I mentioned that, I'm always stunned by the response. So, I guess having lots of success in the way of record sales is one thing, but to be recognized on that level it's something entirely different for us.
50 years together, Jimmy, no signs of slowing down. You also released Nitty Gritty Dirt Band's Anthology album today. Tell us about Anthology and really, how you guys came together to pick the songs for that album.
Well, it was a matter of a lot of phone calls. We had a lot of material to sort through, and I think Jeff was probably instrumental in arranging the selection. He called me with the list. He had some time on his hands, I guess, and wanted to delve into it, and I just let him have at it.
Jimmy Fadden from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band joining CFWE. Jimmy, tell us the story behind your band's name.
In the beginning, it was just a dirt band. It was much, much easier to say, but, bands of that time had kind of, multisyllabic, unusual, weird names like Strawberry Alarm Clock, the West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band, the Peanut Butter Conspiracy. And we felt that it was probably, in our interest to get something a little more going there. And Jeff was in a political science class, and his teacher said to really understand this problem, you have to get down to the nitty gritty. And that's the phrase he used, and that's the thing that jumped into Jeff's head and said, that's it, Eureka! Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Well, we've been stuck with it forever. People remember it. It's nice. It's our name. It's our brand. It's our music. Our music is nitty gritty.